Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your weekly reading, and I'm just wanting to see how you're going to traverse, or how you're going to be affected by the energy of the full moon in Sagittarius, because it's been a bit of a mixed bag so far with the other signs. Some of them are like, yeah, great, and others are like, oh, there's confusing energies around. What I was getting with you, I got this image, and this was where your head quite literally turned into a fan. It was like going round and around and around, element of air, and then it started blowing out all this debris. Something's going around and around in your mind, and it's releasing all this just clearing. It's like a leaf blower just going and blowing it all away. And then suddenly you got really like caught up in it all to the point where you were like, and then it just became like this big process of getting rid of a lot of mental clutter and debris with something. And it actually felt good, to be honest. I would just say the only thing I would warn about is that very end bit where it was like, almost like you got sucked into the process as well. It's like you don't want to lose yourself with this, but you are kind of, with so many thoughts going around and around in your head, you don't want this to feel like overwhelming, but at the same time you're being productive with it, which is good. We've got the Chariot, discipline and determination. Okay, so this is it. You're like, there's something that needs to be cleared up and out here. And it feels like a very internal process. I don't feel like there's anyone else involved. It's not like you're blowing away debris of somebody else's clutter, even though it probably is, but it's more what you've kept inside your mind. So look at this beautiful rhinoceros here, the Chariot, overcoming obstacles and just this will to drive to success, successfully overcome something, an obstacle that you found in your path, and you're just like quite literally blowing it away with your mind. You just got into super drive, and it goes faster and faster and faster, that fan. We've also got 10 of crystals, stability and attainment. I love this beautiful crocodile because this is the equivalent of the 10 of Pentacles, and this is where you're determined to kind of go, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, overcome. I'm going to get to this end goal here, which is the 10 of what it is that you want to attain here, the 10 of Pentacles. And I love the crocodile because this is very much where it's land meets water. It's I keep get given this energy, a very primal energy here of the crocodile. They've barely evolved over time because they've been perfect the way they are, really. They're very successful creatures. They're survivors. They've survived over a very, very long time. And it's like you're a survivor. And it's like, you can throw anything at me. I'm going to throw it back out, and I'm not going to take it on. There it goes. And so it's also a sense that, it's like, they're opportunist crocodiles. When the time is right, they go for it. But it's also like, push me too hard and I'm going to snap. So that's another energy that comes with this. So it's like, you're very, your own mind better than anybody. You know what the limits are. So it's like when you're going through this process of kind of blowing all this out and being the fan inside your head, a lot going around your mind, it's kind of like, get out of my way. Get out of my way while I'm doing my own process. Otherwise, you might get blown out of my life as well. But the stability and attainment, it's like, you're not going to let this sidetrack you. You can see it for exactly what it is. There's a lot of Neptunian energy around at this moment in time, and it's like, I'm kind of feel like you are climbing the mountain. There's a mountain here, and it's like you're under no illusions as to what this mountain is that you've put in front of yourself to climb. And you also have this sense of, I've survived this before, I've done this before, I can do it again. So it's like, and it actually feels quite ambitious. It feels like there's something that you want and you're willing to go to any length or even extremes to get to what it is. So it's a very, like I said, almost like a very determined energy with this discipline and determination. And it's like, I'm not being kept off track. No distractions. Thank you very much. So, look what's turned up. Cup Ace and the Chariot. Interesting. Cup Ace, water, and the Chariot. Moon, Cancer, Jupiter. So the Chariot's come up twice, which would suggest it's a super strong energy for you at this moment in time. You've got the 10 of crystals, which is the ending of something, like an end point you're trying to reach. The Cup Ace of water is like it's the beginning of a cycle where you're wanting to feel good, you're wanting to feel different, you're wanting to feel the birth of something that feels magnificent and wonderful, or something that you're aiming for here. And the Chariot is like, I'm willing to, this could be a lot to do with the Cancerian energy. It's very caring. It's very emotional. It feels a lot of things. So this Ace of Cups could definitely be a lot of emotions that are coming out as well, a lot of emotions that could be processed. But it's the Cancer energy is around, and the Moon energy is around the home. It's around energies of how you're feeling around the home. When you come back to that private space where you need to just plonk after a big day, and it's like, okay, I got to process some of these emotions of the day. And Jupiter actually wants to make it a bit easier for you. It wants to take the pressure off. It wants to make you overcoming some insurmountable objects or obstacles in your life, make them easier, make them surmountable, make them something that you can do despite the fact there's a challenge here. Conflicts ending in victory with the Chariot card. So the Cancer energy can also be around family. It can be around family, around home. It can be around women as well. It does rule women. So it is, there's something that potentially, you're just like, I want to bring this in. I want to bring in, sort some stuff out around those areas in my life and bring in more stability and what it is that I'm trying to attain here. So and I feel like it's very, it's interesting with the Chariot energy, and look what we've got, the Ace of Wands. I was going to say that the Chariot energy, like two beginnings and an ending, this is very boom, boom, boom. And black and white, we can see in this Chariot card, we've got the two Sphinxes. One is black and white. That's very Plutonian. That's your planetary ruler, Pluto. So it's like you've made sense of something. You've made sense. Information's has come to you around this. But what was I going to say? I had a point around the Chariot. What was it? The Chariot and the Moon. Obviously, the Moon's come in because it's been the full moon. It's about attaining something around the home, around your emotions, emotional stability around the home. What was it? Oh, that was what it was. Sorry, Scorpio. I just completely lost it. So for a second then, I was train of thought gone. But the thing with the Chariot, yes, this is around a real emotional pull and drive. This is an emotional surge that comes through, like, I have to do this. So that's where the Cup Ace, the water's coming in, the feeling. And this actually could be a very highly intuitive energy that comes through. And we've got the Ace of Wands, which is, I can do this. It's the drive, the motivation to kind of move forward with something that you're feeling very emotionally driven by at this moment in time. So we've got the Page of Water. The Page of Wands. Where am I at? The Page of Pentacles at this moment in time. So lots of messages coming in at the moment. You're looking at something, setting a new goal, or looking at starting something new, and then going, well, this is something I want to do, but how am I going to do it with the Page of Pentacles? How am I going to bring this in? Because I want this, but I need to know the practical nature of it as well. It can't just be, this is what I want. The Page of Pentacles is, but how do I do it? The Seven of Swords, this is you thinking of a strategy and a plan coming in. Exit strategy for some of you. Knight of Swords, this is the determination. You're on a quest to do what it is that you want to do this week. So lots of messages coming in with these two pages, lots of fresh new energy about things that you want to conquer and new energies you want to bring in, especially to do perhaps with, these Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles could be ambitions around your work and career as well, something new that's developing. It may be the Seven of Swords is like wanting more freedom. So this plan could actually happen quicker than you think with the Knight of Swords coming through. And at the base, we've got the Three of Swords. So this would suggest that what part of the emotions that are motivating this at this moment is related to a wound. It's like, a wound has been either healed or triggered here. Let me see if I can get the right, because I can get the feeling of it. I just need to explain it. Because I don't feel like it's hurting you. But I feel like the wound strangely is like a motivator. So something's been triggered here where it's kind of like you're off like a rocket. You're like, boom, right, okay, that's it. And you've kind of gone into self-protection mode or self-preservation mode in a way, like, I need to fix this and make sure I don't get hurt and other people that I love don't get hurt. I want to fix this and make this good. There's something coming in here that you're like, right, I want to get what it is that I want to get here. I don't want to be hurt by external factors anymore. I don't want to be hurt by someone externally coming in and saying this or doing this. I need to build this to be strong enough that it can withstand and survive, like the crocodile, survive over time. So that's kind of what I feel like, quite literally, maybe it's a home. They're showing me like a home that was perhaps affected by, and this is just symbolic, it could be quite literal for some of you, perhaps it was a home that was affected by a natural disaster and somehow like a big storm came in or something, your roof or there's damage to your home. So you're like, I'm determined that this is the wound. Something's occurred here where you've gone, right, this is never going to happen again. I'm going to rebuild this. I'm going to make it even bigger and better. And I'm going to make it so that it no longer hurts me or my family or the people around me that I love, or at least myself. If you're like, at least put yourself in that picture first. So this is kind of the energy. Now, it doesn't have to be anything as extreme as like a home and a natural disaster. That's a fairly extreme example, but it could just be something like financially, I need to kind of have more savings in the bank because, they're worth the unexpected things that have happened and could be happening. Here in Australia, the cost of living is rising astronomically. I don't know what it's like where you live, but it is like maybe it's like you go, okay, well, it's sort of like you've got the foresight of the future. So it's like, right, I can see that the cost of living is rising. So what am I going to do about it? What sort of things can I put in place here so that, and that's what it feels like. It feels like you've got this goal, but there's this sense of protection with it. In that you're going to survive the next thing that comes through, whatever that is. We've just all been through a huge pandemic and we've all just come out of it, like not just, but it feels like it's like we're on the other side of it now. And I know Australia has been a little bit behind the world. So we've probably come out of it way later than a lot of other people. But it just feels like, I don't want to go back there again. So obviously there's big things like worldwide events. You can't stop a worldwide pandemic. There's certain things like wars or economic climate, like economies that you can't stop, but you can do things in your life to kind of prevent some of these more external energies. And that's what I feel like is happening here. And it's also a case of this could just be something deeply personal. It could be perhaps someone said something really critical. It could have just kind of got into that little sensitive spot and you've gone, right, well, I got to make it so that they're not going to get me in that spot again. So it's kind of feels like that's what's coming through with it. These cards do feel right, so I'm going to let them come out. I think one of them is the octopus. So let's see. Yes, the octopus and the lizard. Okay, interestingly, we've got the lizard again because I keep getting part of it is lizard brain, which is the old part of our brain, which can be ruled by fears, but survival fears. So that's what I feel like it kind of is at the root of this, is like a bit of a survival, like I must survive kind of energy. The octopus is saying there's a lot that's come up from the deep. Quite literally, it's a creature of the deep. But you need to be flexible with this energy. There's a lot with this information. There's a lot going on inside that octopus's mind. Writing can be really great with the octopus. This could be like, if for some of you that this may be quite literally a creative piece. Just say you're writing a book and you're overcoming challenges, or your characters are overcoming challenges here, and they're like, I don't want to go back to that place that the Three of Swords was at. And so, it could be anything, even just journaling or writing things down could be, it could come in so many different ways. But ultimately the octopus energies are going to be busy, multitasking, working with this. So processing a lot of things, and it does require flexibility to be able to go from one to the other and not to be fixed in how you think things have to be able to go with the flow a little bit, to be malleable and flexible is the right approach with octopus. And this could be deep feelings that have come up. something or a memory that's come up from the deep. It's very Plutonian, which of course you're going to be fabulous at handling. But you've also got lizard there, which is interestingly like inside your mind, because you can see inside the octopus has got all these little rainbows going on inside its head. It's like, whoa, so much I'm processing right now. But the colours are important because this is the chameleon, and the chameleon can take on any colour that it chooses. And so it's kind of like perhaps part of it is, what do I want things to look like? How do I want things to appear? And you might be deeply questioning the truth. Like, is this person really who they say they are? Is this situation really what it looks like? So there might be things to do with like the chameleon energy that feels like part of you might feel like you can go both ways with this, is what they're showing me. This can be you wanting to kind of fit in and blend in for the moment and not cause too much attention to what it is that you might be doing for whatever reason. It might be that you might want to be a bit private and discreet around it. But it might also be that you're sitting and processing somebody's true colours. So that's also another thing that's coming in with this. And that could be related to the Three of Swords, in that, okay, perhaps this person's deceived me somehow. I'm going to make sure I need to kind of work out exactly who they are for a start, or how this happened, and then I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again. So either way, you can put it to whatever it is that you're wanting to do here, but you see the picture is that you're being very clever here. There's a lot of sense of determination, and it does feel like you're creating a very successful and strategy here that is going to work. So that's it, Scorpio. That is the energy for the week. So thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and look forward to seeing you next time.